The night was restless. Zane paced the clinic hallway, unable to sleep. His body still buzzed with residual pain from the full moon, an ache that had gone deeper than bone. He leaned against the cold wall, pressing his forehead to the plaster. A sharp pulse struck through his chest. He gasped, clutched his ribcage, the bond, still there, still broken, still hurting. Another jolt. This one stronger. He dropped to one knee, trembling. Style burst from the back room. "Zane? What is it? What's happening?" Zane couldn't speak. His eyes rolled back. A low growl escaped his throat. "It's happening again, but it's not like before." He managed to grit out. His limbs seized, his skin flushed hot. The air shimmered around him. Then came the scream. Raw, inhuman, shaking the light fixtures. His spine arched, bones popped and split. Not like a werewolf's shift. This wasn't just muscle and fur. This was rewriting. The creature stood, towering and powerful, scraping the low ceiling. The direwolf had risen. Zane's voice echoed inside his own skull. "What am I becoming?" And then, "You are becoming what you were born to be." A presence moved within him. Not violent, but vast. Like a forest waking up after centuries asleep. Zane threw back his head and howled, and the sound shattered the hallway mirror. The power cracked the floor tiles beneath his feet. But even in the chaos, the direwolf didn't strike. It held still, aware, awakened. Zane's chest heaved. Then slowly, almost reluctantly, the transformation began to reverse. His form shrank, fur faded, skin returned. He collapsed to the floor, breathing hard, drenched in sweat. Style ran to him. "Zane? Can you hear me?" Zane opened one eye. They glowed faintly silver. "It's awake. All the way now." Style didn't ask what it was. He could see the answer in Zane's eyes. The direwolf was no longer dormant. It was home. The next full transformation came without warning. It was early morning. Style had just stepped into the clinic, coffee in hand, to check Zane's vitals. The boy had slept the night before, muttering, shifting, sometimes growling in his sleep. Zane sat up straight in bed. "It's happening again." Style froze. "What is?" Zane's back arched. His skin rippled. "Get back!" he snarled. His voice wasn't human anymore. Style backed against the wall. "Zane, listen to me. You're not a monster. Stay with me." The direwolf howled. It wasn't a sound of rage. It was triumph. It leapt onto the metal operating table, smashing it flat beneath its weight. It snarled, pacing in a wide circle, claws scoring the floor with every heavy step. Styles' heart pounded. He kept his eyes locked on the beast. "You know me. I helped you. You don't want to hurt me." The direwolf halted. Ears twitched. Then, slowly, it turned. Silver eyes locked onto him. The snarl faded. For a breathless second, nothing moved. Then the wolf stepped forward and sat. Just sat. Style stared. The wolf tilted its massive head, curious. The beast blinked once, then let out a low exhale. The fur shimmered and began to melt back into skin. Flesh reformed. Bones cracked and reset. In seconds, Zane lay on the clinic floor, panting, pale, and soaked in sweat. Zane opened one eye. "Did I break anything important?" Style looked around the wrecked clinic. "Only everything." Zane coughed out a laugh, weak but real. "Your eyes were still in there, even when the thing had full control. You didn't attack me, you stopped." Zane turned his face into the blanket. "I wasn't sure I could, but you did." Zane had changed, and the thing inside him had accepted its place. Not a monster, a protector. But then the wolf's demand came inside of him. "Enough hiding, go to him." Zane's jaw clenched. "I said no. He is yours, bound by fate, by blood, by instinct, and he dared reject you." Zane gripped the arms of the chair until the wood cracked. "He didn't understand what I am. I didn't either." "Exactly. And now you do." The wolf's voice coiled around his mind like smoke and fire. "You are a direwolf. We are not denied. We do not beg. We take." Zane stood, pacing, chest tight. "I don't want to force anything again. I already—" The bond pulsed. Zane could feel Elias on the other end, distant, flickering. He feels us now. Every full moon it cuts him the way it cut us. But he still thinks he has a choice. Zane growled low in his throat. The wolf was pushing harder now. He belongs to us. He needs to remember what that means. Let us show him. Let us remind him there is no rejecting a direwolf. Claim him. Punish him. He shook his head, breath shallow. If I go to him like this, I won't stop. Then don't. Zane dropped to his knees, trembling. The wolf loomed just beneath the surface of his skin. You're not a boy anymore. You are the end of bloodlines, the first and the last. The hunger pulsed. The bond throbbed in his chest like a wound that refused to close. No, he said again, though his voice had lost all conviction. The wolf didn't press further. It didn't need to. The urge was already growing. Meanwhile, the academy buzzed with rumors. A blood moon was coming, a rare celestial alignment that magnified supernatural power, broke old barriers, and awakened instincts most creatures barely knew they had. For vampires, it meant a surge in hunger and power. For werewolves, it was chaos. Raw, primal urges surged to the surface. For Zane, it meant the end of restraint. The wolf was already stirring, restless and ready. It's time, the wolf growled. Zane shook his head. No, not again, I can control it. You don't want control, not tonight. Tonight we take back what's ours. The bond flared like fire behind his ribs, painful, demanding. And through it, Elias, a flicker of scent, of memory, of rejection. He rejected a god, the wolf spat. He thought he could deny a direwolf. He thought wrong. Zane doubled over, hands sinking into the earth. His breath came out in ragged snarls. His bones itched with the beginning of the shift. You've let him forget who you are. Let us remind him. Let him see what happens to those who spit on destiny. No, Zane growled. But it was weaker now. The part of him that feared what he might do was drowning beneath the part that needed to act. Claim him. Punish him. Make him kneel. Zane screamed as the transformation tore through him. It wasn't like the previous ones. This wasn't just the body. This was the mind. The wolf pushed aside everything soft and human. In his mind there was only one image, one scent, one target. Elias. The direwolf broke free of the trees with thunder in its limbs. And nothing would stop him now. Alarms blared through the vampire compound. Crimson lights pulsed against stone walls. Guards scrambled, weapons drawn, shouting into radios and casting old wards that hadn't been used in decades. The wards didn't stop it. It's inside. It's not a werewolf. What the hell is that thing? The ground shook beneath massive paws. Elias stood in the center of the courtyard, unmoving. Elder vampires hissed and barked orders, panic crackling in their voices. Then it appeared. A beast from forgotten prophecy, towering, shadow-wreathed, silver eyes burning like frozen moons. The direwolf. And those eyes, those impossible eyes, were locked on him. Elias didn't breathe. Zane? He whispered, voice thin and uncertain. The beast didn't respond. It moved. A blur of black fur and muscle slammed into him. In the blink of an eye, Elias was on the ground, breath knocked out of him, wrists pinned beneath monstrous claws. But the fangs didn't sink in. The claws didn't rip. The direwolf hovered above, unmoving, watching. Then the growling deepened, not fading, not softening. Fur melted, bones shifted, skin returned. But the wolf did not leave. What stood over Elias now was Zane's human form. But the posture, the weight in his stance, the slow, predator-like movements. It was still the direwolf. Eyes still glowed. The growl rumbled in his throat. Zane leaned in, his voice a snarl more than speech. You thought you had a choice. Elias stared up at him, frozen. You rejected fate, rejected me. Elias's voice cracked. I was wrong. Zane, please. Zane's smile was not kind. You knew enough to hurt me. That was all it took. Don't, please, Elias whispered, his throat exposed. Don't mark me like this, not like this. The wolf inside Zane snarled, taking over his voice. You begged for distance. Now beg beneath me. Elias trembled. I'm sorry, I swear I didn't mean... You meant every word when you threw me away, when you left me bleeding in front of them. You want forgiveness? Zane leaned in, lips brushing Elias's ear. Then earn it, after I claim what's mine. Elias's eyes filled with something that wasn't just fear. It was recognition. Of the power. Of the truth. Zane's fangs descended. You're mine. And he bit. Elias gasped, spine arching as the mark seared through him. The bond ignited like a chain dragged from a furnace, unforgiving and absolute. The wolf inside Zane growled with satisfaction. Zane pulled back, his mouth stained crimson. He looked into Elias's eyes, unblinking. Now you remember. The bond snapped between them, no longer frayed, no longer passive, claimed, sealed, and enforced by the will of something ancient. The wolf had not just marked its mate, it had made a promise. No one breaks fate.